Now you must remember that angle at a straight line is equals to 180 at all points. So here is 180, here is also what? 180. Now together 180 plus 180 will give us what? 360, and this makes angle at a what? At a point. Now what will happen? You see that angle at a straight line is equals 180. Let's say I keep dividing this line like this, like this, and like this. Alright. If I should also have an angle here, if I plus this, plus this, plus this, and this, all this A plus B plus C plus D is still going to give me what? 180 what? Degree. Let's look at the example. Now here I have something that looks like this, and this side is 30 degree. They now ask me what's going to be the angle here, although it is not measured to scale. Now since I don't know this angle, but I know that the angle at this straight line equals 180. Hence, if I use 180 and minus from this small side, which is 30, I'll get this. Now 180 minus from 30 is going to give us what? 150. So this side is 150. Not to scale, remember. Now, after we know that angle at the straight line equals 180, what is the next thing we have to know? We have to know what is called perpendicular line. So if something is in straight line and another thing fall under it in straight line, something fall it like this form perpendicular what? Line. This line and this are perpendicular to each other. And perpendicular line form angle we note as angle what? 90 degree. Here is going to be 90. Here is going to be what? 90 degree. 90 plus 90 will also give us angle at a straight line, which is what? 180 what? Degree. Now it's going to be in different form. We may see it in this form. This is also what? 90 what? Degree. You see it like this, 90 degree. You see it like this. This is also what? 90 what? Degree. Here is also what? 90 what? Degree. Do you get? Now there is something now we need to know. Having known that we have a perpendicular line and it is always equal to 90 degree, let's look at a simple question on that. So straight line, perpendicular line, and there is in this form. However, we're now given that this angle here is equals to 50 degree. What's going to be this side? Since this is 90 degree because of this perpendicular line, now 90 minus 50 is going to give us what? 40. Since this angle becomes what? 40 what? Degree. Now going furthermore, let's look at what is called opposite angle. Opposite angle. Opposite angle. Mala, you must understand this plane geometry. All right, so since we have a straight line, we also have a straight line. What do you mean by opposite angle? Angle that is face me and face you. This angle here is facing this angle, opposite angle. This one here is facing this angle, opposite angle. And one thing about opposite angle is that they are equal. So if here is A, here will also be what? A. If here is A, here is B. A is equals to what? B. If here is C, here is D. C must be equals to what? D. Hence, if in a question you are given this and you have 20, this side will also be what? 20. Opposite angle. See it face me and face you. If this side is going to be 160, this side will also be what? 160. However, you should be very understandable on what is happening here, that this is also a straight line. I get it. And we know that angle at a straight line must be equal to what? 180 what degree. Angle at a straight line must be equal to what? 180. So if I should sum 20 this side plus 160, I'm still going to get 180 what degree. Like also this one, 20 plus 160, this side is also what? 180 what degree. Sum all of them together, it gives you angle at a point, which is equal to what? 3 what? 60. Hope you remain this thing and hope you're understanding. Now, question will come in this form. Question will come in this form if you're a Waec student. And then they will give you here as 120 and this side as 30. Now, you're not going to be asked to find A. I get it. How can you find A? Since this and this side. Now, you must not make that mistake to think that it is this side only that is opposite to this one. Once you see this thing here and see this one here, this opening is here and this opening is also here. So this opening, you see open like this, you see open like so. It means that everything here is going to be opposite to everything here, the backward side. I get it. So all of this is opposite to this one. Hence, if 120 is equals to this plus this, so 120 is equals to 30 plus what? A. It's going to give us what? Take this over here or just rearrange it. A will now become 120 minus what? 30, which is going to give us what? 90 what? Degree. I get it. So what is equal to here is what? 90 what? Degree. 90 plus 30 is going to give us what? 120. Opposite what? Angle are what? Equal. However, if you're also given, if you're also given to find this other side, if you're also given this side, let's say element 30 degree, I ask to find this angle here. How can you get this angle? How can you get this angle? If you're given this and this, how can you get this angle? Already, even if you're not given this, let's just leave it like this. You can use this single angle to get this whole angle, to get this angle, to get this angle, and to get this angle. First of all, let's try to get this, or let's try to get this, or let's try to get this. How can we do it, guys? How can we do it? If you look at this, this is a straight line, so that angle here plus angle here will give us 180 degree. If you also look at here, this is a straight line, so that angle here plus angle here will also give us what? 180 degree. This is going to be opposite to this. So if this is opposite to this, B is also going to be what? 120. You get? Now, if this is a straight line, 180 in a straight line minus 120, which is this part, is going to give us this part. And 180 minus 120 is going to remain what? 60 degree. Now, 60 degree is opposite to this one. Or you can also take this as a straight line. 180 minus this side, which is what? 120 is going to give us this side, which is going to be what? 60 what? Degree. This was this 20 degree. Are you getting me? So now we are going to be done. We are done on opposite angle. Let's look at parallel line. Let's look at parallel line. Hope you're liking this now. Let's look at parallel line. Now, if you have two parallel line, what is happening here? This line can never stop. But later, there will be a line crossing it. This line crossing is called a transversal. Now, whenever you have a two lines joining each other, there must be an angle at the joining point, at the meeting point. So this line and this line meet here. If the angle must form here, an angle must form here. If you have a line like this also, this is their meeting point. Angle must form here. Angle must form here. Angle must form here. Angle must form here. Angle must form around them. I get me. So now, if this two is a parallel line, this is a transversal. This transversal now meets this line, this point and this point. Hence, angle is going to form here. 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 The same here. Angle is going to form 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 here. Now, this angle has name. Let's try to name it. So I want to clean the first one. Let's clean it. Now, after cleaning it, let's look at what is called interior opposite angle. Interior opposite angle. All right, interior opposite angle. Now, if you look at this line, if you're inside there, it means that you're inside. If you're out, it means that you're what? Outside. Inside there is called interior. Outside there is called what? Exterior. Now, angle that is found inside here are all what? Interior angle. Angle that is found outside this place and this place is called exterior. Now, inside the interior, if you have opposite interior angle, this angle and this angle, they are opposite. They are opposite to each other. This angle and this angle opposite to each other. Both of them, if you add them, they are going to result to 180 degree. If it is A and this is B, A plus B is going to give us what? 180 degree. Remember this. Interior angle, A plus B. This angle plus this angle, 180 degree. The same with this angle here. This angle for this angle, 180 degree. I get it. This angle for this angle, let this C and D. You also give us what? 180 what? Degree. Interior opposite angle sum up to what? 180 degree. Let's clean it and redraw the line. So have you haven't written that on your book? Let's continue. Now we also have that same angle. Now this time around, let's have another angle here. You see, it's no longer in this side. Now this is called alternating angle. Alternating angle. If you're in a classroom, this is inside your classroom. There is seat here. There is seat here where somebody is sitting. There is seat here. There is seat here. There is seat here. Now the person sitting here, this is the road to where the board is, to the front where you guys are writing something. The person sitting here and the person sitting here are alternating to each other. The person sitting here and the person sitting are alternating to each other. Now, alternating angle like this are equal. Also like this. Alternating angle like this. A and B, C and D. C and D is alternating. A and B is what alternating, as you can see it. Now these alternating angle are equal. I get it. If here is 50, here is gonna be 50. Here is 60, is gonna be 60. Here is 30, is gonna be what? 30. We have talked about interior opposite angle summing up to 180. Talk about alternating angle. Alternating angle does not sum up to anything, but they are what? Equal. I get me. Now let's clean it. Let's now look at another angle. This angle we call it corresponding angle. If you look at this line here, if you look at this line here, if you look at this crossing here, if you look at this crossing here, you form an angle here, you form an angle here. You see that the same thing. Now this angle is called corresponding angle. Corresponding angle. Corresponding angle are also what? Equal. Angle here, if it's 30 degree, here is also going to be what? 30 degree. Corresponding angle is what? Equal. However, we are done. Is that so? We are done. Now, another thing you have to know from your sense is that everything I've spoken so far is also found on this thing. So let's the angle here. Let's there be angle here. Let 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 there be angle here. Now, what do we know? You still remember that this angle and this angle are opposite to each other. So this angle A will also be equals to B. I get it. Now, also this one is opposite to each other. C will also be what? Equals to what? D. Remember this in the basic things under plane geometry. Now, this, if you come to this side, still the same thing. Where that's of A, B, C, D. E is also equals to what? F. G is also equals to what? H. Opposite angles are what? Equal. Now, when you now come to analyze everything I've taught you so far, you found out that B plus G is going to be what? 180 degree. Why? Because they are opposite interior angle. Opposite interior angle. The same thing with what? D plus what? E will give us what? 180 degree. D plus E. Now, talking about alternating angle, D is equals to G. D equals to G. Why? Because alternating angle. I get me. Now, coming to corresponding angle, you will say that G is equals to C. G equals C. Why? Because corresponding angle. Hope you have written all of this. Let's look at question. Woo! Now let's look at question. Let's say you have something like this, something like this, something like this. Let's say you are just given one angle. This angle over here, let it be 60 degree. I want you to complete all this angle. Complete A, complete B, complete C, complete D, complete E, complete F, complete G. So you're just giving this angle to complete everything. Is it possible? Yes. First of all, I can just go with this is opposite to this, same thing. Then after going with that, I can relate this here to straight angle, so that this angle plus this angle give me 180. When you minus this from 180, you get this angle. This angle will also be alternating to this one. This one, sorry, opposite to this one, which is equal. This one alternating to this one. This one angle is line to get this one. This one opposite to this one. This one straight angle to get this one. Let's do it. All right. CC is opposite to what? C, which C is gonna be what? 60 degree. Now, taking this as a straight line, or taking this as a straight line, take this as a straight line, 60 minus 180, because angle at a straight line is 180. 60 minus 180 equals 120. Another way you can do it is, since C here, since C is 60 degree, you take this as a straight line. Now, C, which is 60 minus 180 under this straight line, will still give us what? 120. Now, 120 is now alternating to what? B, which is going to give us 120 degree. Now, 120 degree, sorry, it is opposite to B. A is opposite to B. That's the equal angle. Opposite angle are what? Equal. 180 degree. Why this one is gotten from straight line angle 180 degree minus 60. I get it. Now this B is now alternating to G. B is alternating to G. B alternating to G. G and alternating angle are the same thing. 120 degree. Now what about D? I can get my D easily by saying that CC is also alternating to what? D. Or I can still take this as a straight line, minus 180 from 120, which is still going to give me what? 60 degree. 60 degree opposite to E, 60 degree. 120 opposite to this one, 120 degree. Have you seen how easy it is? Now, before we enter into main question, I want to teach you something that is going to aid your speed on solving plane geometry, because this is not everything you're going to be seeing. You're going to be seeing some line, very beautiful line. Now, what you're going to be understanding is that in every junction or in every intersection that two lines meet, just like this intersection line now, this is their meeting point. I get him. This is a meeting point. Don't be afraid of drawing another line that passed through it. If you draw on that, assuming this was 30 degree, if you draw another line that passed through it, now become 15 and 15. You can do it. I get me. If I have something like this, like the first question we're going to solve now, if something is in this form, and then you're given this angle here as 30 degree, we are now solving the question. Let's say this is A, B, this is C, this is D. Now this is 30 degree, and this other one over here is let's say 200 degree. Now you are now asked to find this one. What is this S degree? How can you solve it? Remember the parallel lines like this and the alternating what angle. But if you look here, there is no relationship in which you can get your S with this or with this. No relationship at all. This is parallel line to this line over here with this arrow showing it. However, you don't have any transversal. So I can relate what I have taught you so far to it. So what are you going to do? Tell me. What are you going to do? You're looking for what? Yes. In that case, like I told you, in any junction or any intersection, you can also add your own line there to divide something there. I get it. So that if I have something in this form, I get me, and then I have something here, you find out that I have my alternating here, also have my alternating here. Continue drawing this. Also have my alternating here. Also have my alternating. Continue drawing this here. Continue drawing this line. Have you getting the gist? You have not gotten. Let's now go back to this question. Now you're going to produce a line crossing through center O. Produce a line crossing towards center O because there's no relationship, there's no connection between this line and this line. You have to draw that parallel line crossing through this line over here. You have drawn a line. Now this line have divided this angle into what? 200 into 100, 100. So here now become 100 degree. Here now become 100 degree. Now have you seen that we now have a relationship? What is the relationship? This line now becomes a transversal with this line and this line over here. This line also is also a transversal with this parallel line and this same line that I've drawn. Extend this one, extend this one. So this is a transversal between this line and this line. There's also a transversal between this one and this line. Now the rule we're not going to apply. Since I'm looking for this angle over here, I get it, which is S. I can easily say that 100 is now alternating to this other angle, which is going to be the same thing as what? 100. But it's not to scale. I get it, not to scale. As you can see, not to scale. It's not going to be correct. But this is the correct answer for this question. So this 100, and what's now going to be S? Remember that 100. This remember that this is a straight line and is equal to 180. So 180 minus 100 is going to give us what? 80 what? Degree. I've gotten my S. The same way you can get angle here. The same way you can get angle here. The same way you can get angle here. Are you sure? Yes. Now if here is having gotten to 80, which is our initial question, 80 here is also alternating to this angle. Since this is a transversal, 80 here is also alternating to this angle. So here is also going to be what? 80 degree. I get me. Now how can I get this one? How can I get this one? If you look closely, what can you see? You can see a straight line. If here is 100, this is a straight line. And straight line is equal to 180. 180 minus 100 is going to give us what? 80 what? Degree. Have you gotten it? Now also, how can I get this one? 100 will also be alternating to what? This angle here. If 100 alternates to this angle here, what are we going to get? We're going to get what? 100 degree. And they are the same thing. Now here is where not to scale will not apply, because if you look very well, it's not to scale. Hence, this 30 degree plus 100 degree is going to give us 130, and because it's not to scale, I just guessed it. So it's supposed to be what? 80 what? Degree. Because it's going to alternate to this one, but that's not to scale. But this is how you can solve these questions, and it's very easy and simple. I see it's ABC, no formula needed, nothing needed, just your analysis. Hope you are writing this. I want to now ask you question. These are questions both Waec, GCE and JAMB. Let's now look at other questions you may have. This will be the last question, guys. Now, how can we get B and C? Looking at this, you have A or no. How can you get it, guys? How can you get it? So, what I told you that angle at a point. This, you see that this is going to form a circle. Let's just complete it. So angle here is equals to what? 3 what? 60. Although here it's already given to us as 120. What we need to do is that we are going to minus this whole side from the whole side, which is 180. So you are not doing 360 minus from 312, which is this side. What are you going to get? 3 cancel. 60 onto 12, 50 and 2, 48. All right, 48 degree is A. We have gotten 48 degree. We need this angle and this angle. We're going to need this angle to the 48 degree. Now I told you that in any junction, just like this one now, you can continue to extend it. You can also continue to extend this one. I get it. So in this junction here, or this intersection point, I can extend this angle. So that this angle and this angle will be what? Parallel angle. Now if I extend it, notice that angle here, we must alternate angle from what I thought to, which is gonna be what? 48 degree. The same angle, alternating angle are equal. Now looking at this side, we now have a straight line angle. Now this straight line angle, this angle here is a straight line. This angle for this angle sum out to what? 180 degree. Already here is 48. Remove 48 from 180. What are you going to get? I think it's gonna be 112. 140 minus 80 gonna give us 30. 30 minus 8 is gonna give us 22. 22 plus, okay, this is 22, I'm going to say, or something like that. I don't actually know. Yeah, it's 22. Now 22 opposite to this also gonna give us 22. This opposite to this also gonna give us 48. Now when you add it together, this plus this is gonna give us 30, and when you add it to 40, 180 degree. Hope you understood. So from here we make this angle at a point minus angle at a point with this angle over here give us 48. 48 alternate to this opposite to this angle is opposite to this. Now we take this as a straight line minus angle at a straight line, which is 180 from 48 to give out this angle. This angle is also going to be opposite towards this angle. Thank you. See you on my next video. This is all I'm going to solve. If you have any question, both JAMB or Waec, each year, any year at all, write on the comment section the year. Let me go and explain it for you. If you have another topic you want me to explain just like this, let me know in the comment section. Now I'm done with pen geometry. See you on this video.